Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of January the 13th, 2025. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, last week we got into mocktail month, full blown, right? We talked about some zero proof spirits out there. We featured Seedlip last week, which was really good. And then you gifted me a whole box of Seedlip stuff. So that was pretty awesome. Thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Happy belated Christmas Festivus. I had a feeling that we were going to be knee deep in dry January, and I am super excited about the cocktail that we're talking about in the lobby bar because one of the things that I have been most skeptical about is non-alcoholic tequila. Non-alcoholic tequila sounds like just a travesty in a way, like a complete
Wow.
oxy like
You're really
paradox because
selling the mocktails here.
well, but it's so good and it tastes like tequila. Like that's why it's listen, look, people of all this is where it's at. If you're interested in like going and I mean, look, no one loves tequila more than my spouse, right? Like he would drink it all day,
That's
but then he
possibly true.
turns into another human. Like they grow three arms. Some people, this is a good one. I'm really excited about Ritual Tequila
I mean,
Alternative.
behind the scenes for everyone at home, you do have an entire freezer dedicated to tequilas. So
Can't confirm.
that is entirely true. Don't put this one in your freezer though, because it will freeze solid. I guarantee, because there's no alcohol in this one, Michaela.
Correct.
And today we were talking about another spirit. It's one I'm not quite as familiar with as Seedlip, but I do have a bottle of it. So I thought that this was going to be perfect. It sounded really good, and it sounded like you could make this into obviously the mocktail that we're going to be doing. But if you wanted to just make a full blown margarita here with this, you could do regular tequila too. But today we're going to be talking about the Ritual brand of non-alcoholic spirits and their tequila alternative, which is what we're going to be using today. So I was on their website and I found this cocktail recipe, and it's called the Winter Margarita, which sounded excellent because we both love a margarita, but we also love little riffs on margaritas. And it seems like over the last year, like every riff on a margarita was like, here's a spicy margarita, or world's hottest margarita, or margarita that will set
Yeah.
your mouth on fire. But this one's wintry and delicious. And it's perfect for this time of year, I think. And it is the Eventual Winter Margarita. And it goes like this. So basically, you're going to, I like to do mine in a shaker tin and then strain it over some ice cubes in a rocks glass. But you're going to go 2 ounces of your Ritual Tequila Alternative. Or you could use regular tequila if you want to. 2 ounces of that, 1.5 ounces of cranberry juice, a half ounce of lime juice, a half ounce of orange juice, and a quarter ounce of simple syrup. Or you could probably, use some agave if you're into that jam for your margaritas. Go ahead and shake that up with the ice and then strain it over the rocks. And I believe on theirs they actually had dipped the rim into like a powdered sugar kind of a thing, which gave it kind of a wintry aesthetic there, right? So you got a little
Mm.
little bit of snow on there, and then garnish that with some cranberries just floating about in there, and it's going to look like a winter wonderland that is, non-alcoholic and perfect for mocktail month.
Yeah, especially with I don't know if the rest of the world, I mean, we have had like ice. We had ice Mageddon versus Snowmageddon. It was supposed to be Snowmageddon this
We had
weekend.
no Mageddon here, is
We
what it
had no
was.
Mageddon. We had a lot of ice.
We did, we did.
But it was definitely one of those
It was
like,
like raining outside when it started to melt.
oh gosh, it was just it and it would just turn into these icicles. Like the trees had icicles on them. I was terrified we were gonna like lose one on our house.
Yeah.
Um, but this is perfect for that super cold, like super crisp, like really, really like tequila drinks in general, like warm tequila. I'm not hardcore enough for that. So this is definitely for like it reminds me of like if you were in a snow globe,
Oh,
like of ice, right?
a
That
snow globe
yeah,
of ice. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is like that. So that is the mocktail here for this month. Give it a try, or let us know if you have any other good mocktail riffs on the margarita, and let us know if you've tried the Ritual spirits brand out there, because it's a pretty good one, and I'm excited to play around with this now that I have a bottle of that and get into those a little bit more. Let's get into the box office, Michaela. We could talk about Better Man, but we're not going to. We're going to talk about Den of Thieves. That is the leader this week with $15.5 million, followed by Mufasa, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Nosferatu, and Moana 2. Better Man, as I said, we're not going to talk about. We are going to talk about for just a bit. It cost about $110 million to make, and it made just over $1 million in its opening weekend. Not great for the Robbie Williams chimpanzee movie of it all. Still interested to see it
Oh,
on a side notes, but maybe that was a swing and a miss. Trying to trying to tell the story. Let's talk about Den of Thieves, Michaela. Den of Thieves is a sequel. Den of Thieves Part Two. I don't really know much about it. Did you see the first Den of Thieves that came out in 2018? It starred Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson. Um,
no.
no, okay,
No, missed it, missed it.
good,
Now,
good
to
talk,
be
good
fair,
talk.
I so I saw this when we were looking at the lineups, right? Like I'd seen that this was
Mm,
coming out, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't even know what Den of Thieves one is. But apparently, like in the last 2 weeks, there was a huge like I don't know if it was marketing doing what marketing does, but there was like trends and it was all over TikTok. It was on Facebook. It was everywhere where like this Gerard Butler, O'Shea Jackson is back. And it was like all these things about Den of Thieves too. And I was like, I don't know what any of this is. So I've looked it up. Like it looks kind of interesting. Um, it's Oscar season, so this is probably going to take a backseat to like April 1st. But it seems kind of interesting. I mean, I love me some Gerard Butler. I mean, this looks like a very, I don't know,
I was gonna say I'm a big
actiony,
fan of O'Shea
spy.
Jackson, Junior
Yeah.
here. It's very good, very good. But yeah, I don't know anything about this to be completely honest. Um, out there. Let us know if you saw it, if it's worth our
Yeah.
time to go check out. Maybe it's because we're not familiar with Den of Thieves Part 1. We'll have to go back and check that one out first before we did that. We did go out to see Mufasa. We're going to be talking about that on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/drink the movies if you want to hear our thoughts about the origin story of, the king of all of the land, everything the light touches. We're going to be talking about that. So that's what we had box office wise, Michaela. As I mentioned, really, really, really terrible outing for Better Man. I don't know if that's going to affect its Oscar chances. I think voting is currently underway.
Yes.
If it's already finished, I'm not 100% sure. So we may have to see it for the visual effects of all of that. And I was very interested to see it. I still am. I don't think that the poor box office is really a reflection of the quality of film that it is as much as just the content of the film there. And
For
we could
sure.
talk about that. We'll probably talk about that on our Patreon hangout this month. But we do have a couple of things coming out that we're definitely a little bit more interested in. One is going to be coming up here for Oscar. It's going to be an Oscar contender, so we'll definitely have to see this as some way or another. But Sing Sing, starring Coleman Domingo, is coming out this week, and we also have Wolfman, which is a retelling of the Wolfman story. This one stars Julie Gardner. That one looks okay. You'd made the mention we were watching the trailer for this, and you said the trailer gives everything about the movie away, and I do kind of agree with that. It is being directed by the same director who directed The Invisible Man, which was a movie that I liked quite a bit from a few years back. But what about these two? You looking forward to Sing Sing? What do you think about Wolfman? If you got the gist at the trailer, what do you think?
Yeah, so I am definitely looking forward to Sing Sing. Super excited to see it. It needs to come out. We need to figure out
Coleman Domingo is a man on fire. He
I
can
mean,
do no wrong.
oh my gosh. He is just he is a man after my own heart. His soulfulness in everything he does is just oh, it's I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to wear lots of extra padding. I'm gonna for my poor heart palpitations. Um, but Wolfman, look, I love me some Julie Gardner, and I also love the leading man in this. He is, what is his name? Christopher Abbott.
Christopher Abbott.
Um, he was in Girls, and I really liked him in that. He's been in a couple shows that I've really enjoyed. I think he is a force to be reckoned with in terms of talent. My issue is mostly with the preview because number one, if you watch the regular preview, this isn't a special one. It like I said, it basically tells the whole story. But I mean, it starts off with like the worst car accident that you could probably be in and survive, where like your
Mm,
moving
mhm.
van is like on the side of like a cliff. I mean, that's how it starts and it just gets worse. And so I don't know. We'll see. Again, it's Oscar season. This is going to take a back seat. I don't think it's going to be nominated for best special effects or makeup, although looking at some of the stuff that happens towards the end of the preview slash end of the movie, maybe but yeah, I'm probably going to miss this one at the theaters.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And not to tip our hat too much, but this week we're going to be talking about Nosferatu, to chat about that film. And one of the things that's, that, lead up to the movie did really, really well is they made it a very important part of the marketing to not show Count Orlok at all, until the film had come out, right? So no one knew
Right.
exactly what he was going to look like in this new telling. That's definitely not the case here for Wolfman, but I guess if you know the story, then maybe you're already keen on it, and you don't need to really bother with the trailer too much, anyways. We're not going to go see either of those movies, Michaela, because something is coming out on your televisions. Something we've been waiting patiently, not patiently at all, for the last, I don't know, it feels like 19 years now or whatever.
Yeah.
But season two
19
of
and a half and
Severance,
counting.
they just, like 2 weeks ago, they just announced that it was going to be on. It had been like, what, like 4 years or something since the first
Yeah.
season of Severance, and then just all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, it's coming out like next week," and that week is this week. So you can watch episode one, I guess, of season two of Severance. That's going to be excellent to get into there. So, Michaela, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Nosferatu this week here for
We
to
sure
celebrate
are.
our 200th episode. That's going to be really exciting. And if you don't want to get into the gore and you know. Vampire of all of it, you can go back and listen to our episode about Zoolander from last week. That was a really good time, and look forward to Mufasa coming out on Patreon here in the next week or so. So, Michaela, any parting thoughts here for the lobby bar? Any comments about your ritual tequila now that you've had a chance to taste it?
Um, no, go get some more. I have to say, I think I have been a non-alcoholic or a spiritless convert now. For the longest time, I was really hesitant and skeptical of some of this stuff because I don't know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, non-alcoholic beer tasted like burnt, you know, uh, cardboard. It just wasn't very good. But these are so good. And so if you are in the market for non-alcoholic spirits, really go check these out because they are tasty. They are worth your time. Um, and if you've seen Wolfman, if you decide you're going to be one of the people to go see Wolfman, let us know what you think because I would like to know if there's like a massive twist at the end or something. And I don't know. Yeah, let me know. But I'm very excited about Severance. Um, I don't know how I'm going to fit that in my 87 movies that I still have to watch for the Oscars in the next month. But I'm going to figure it out because that was one of the best seasons of anything I'd ever seen.
Yeah, Severance takes up too much brain space, I think, to watch during Oscar season for sure.
Yeah,
So
you're probably not
might
wrong
have to
there.
put a pin in that until Oscars are done. So with that, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the lobby bar. Keep an eye open on our social medias because we might be doing a live stream on Friday when they make the announcement for the Oscars. So keep those channels open. We'll be sure to post and let everyone know on Facebook and Instagram, in our Discord and all that stuff if we're going to be doing a live stream for that. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for joining us in the lobby bar, and we'll be back with another mocktail next week. Cheers.